Hey everybody, and welcome to the Harrison County Library System's online computer classes. My name's Jeff Conwell. I work up here at the Orange Grove Public Library. If you ever have any questions, please come up and see me or drop me a line at g.conwill@harrison.lib.ms.us or librarydude1999@gmail.com. Okay, this is the second week of classes we're doing on Microsoft Office. This week's classes are going to focus on Microsoft Publisher. And what is Publisher? It's a desktop publishing program made by Microsoft that's similar to Word, except that it places emphasis on page layout design rather than writing text and proofreading. Remember last time that Word is simply you're making a document. Well, this is where you're going to kind of like put brochures and stuff together. Anyway, this is a Microsoft Publisher environment. Notice how similar it is to Microsoft Word. You've got at the top here, you've got the quick access toolbar, you've got your title bar, your contextual tabs, and that's stuff that you're working on. And then you're going to have these individual tabs, and we'll go over those in a second. This chunk below the tabs, of course, is the ribbon. Then you've got rulers on either side, and you've got your slider bar, your horizontal slider bar, and your vertical slider bar up there. This is a little task pane so you can see what you're working on. And then your status bar below. And then these are your view buttons so you can look at it, full screen and stuff. And then you got your zoom controls down here. And then again, it's similar to Microsoft Word, the keystrokes that you can use for shortcuts. To open up a publication, it's Control and O. To create a new is Control and N. To save is Control and S. To print a publication is Control and P. And to close it is Control and W. And you can use F1 for help. But remember, the older versions of Microsoft are no longer supported by the older versions of Office are no longer supported by Microsoft. So your best bet is just to ask Google, or you can drop me a line and we can help you out. The quick access toolbar, remember you customize up here the tools that you want to use a lot. You can put them up here, so just with a click up here, the little icons, you can get to what you need to do. And then you've got these are more tools, keystrokes that you can use. They're a little bit different. If you look on the side here, the navigation and layout, some of them, you can also take a snapshot of that. We're going to look at a live version of a lot of this, so you don't have to really worry too much about that. But the keystrokes are really just helpful. You can go by the little icons, which is what I do really. But remember, the key that you don't ever want to forget is your Control and Z. It undoes what you do, so that if you get lost in the process of trying to make a publication, you can always go back by pressing Control and Z. Okay? These are your tabs, and your tabs have got you got File, Home, Insert, Page Design, Mailings, Review, View, and Help. And your Backstage View, remember this is where if you want to make a new document, you just click New. If you want to open up something you've worked on before, you click Open. And then you got Save, and it's going to save it by just the publication 1 or 2, whatever, if you don't name it. And if you want to save it with a different name, you click Save As. And then you got Print, Share, Export, and Close. Now the Share button you can't use here at the library because it doesn't have access to where you can go into your email. You can save the document itself and then open up your email and send it as an attachment to whoever you want to share it with. But you can do this to share when you have Microsoft Office 365. But the Office that we have here at work doesn't include Publisher, so I can't do that right now. But anyway, your Home tab, you've got this is what it looks like. Notice how similar it is to Word. You've got your copy paste and your clipboard subset of headings, commands. You got your font where you can control the print size and type and all of that. You got your paragraph, which has got your spacing and paragraph indentations where you want to put your little bullet points and such. And then you've got your styles, your objects that you want to put in. You can arrange it, which we'll look at. That's one of the things that really is you want to feature a lot. It's featured a lot in Publisher. So you think of it like making a newspaper article, and you got a picture, but the words are going to flow around the picture. This is the Office suite that you want to use for that. Anyway, and then you got editing over here where you can find or replace. If you want to replace one word throughout the whole document, you just click that word, you click replace, and then type in the word that you want to replace. And below that, you'll put in what word you want in replacement of it. In insert, when you click insert, notice you can insert a page. It doesn't do, you can't just go and when you finish the document, remember how Word, when you get down to the bottom of the document, it makes an automatic another page? Well, this one you have to actually insert a page to do that. And then you can catalog the pages. You got your tables where you can insert a table. And then you got your illustrations, just pictures, online pictures, shapes, and picture holders so that you can actually place it in there. We'll look at all this, okay? You got your building blocks so you can build page parts up. And then you've got your text where you're going to draw a text box. Now, one of the things that you might find when you start trying to type in Publisher, nothing's going to show up. And that's because you have to insert a text box to put any print in there, okay? So every object you get, whether it be a text or a picture, it's considered a separate object. And how they pull together, you know, that's what Publisher is all about. And then you can put in Wordart, your business information. If you insert that, you can insert a file from another file. And they got date object, and you can just set a quick object, and it'll give you a list of objects to choose from. You can put links like a web link or a bookmark in there. And then you got header and footers that you can put at the top or the bottom of your page. Your page design is where you're going to choose like your margin size. You can got different templates to go from, the orientation of your paper, the size of the paper, and then you're going to have guides, which we'll talk about in a minute too. They help you align everything up, okay? And then you've got your on the pages. You can delete pages at just a click, and then you got your. These are your schemes that are color-coordinated schemes so that it doesn't, you don't have any garish colors, or if you have garish colors, the writing's going to be the same as you want. But anyway, you can choose the fonts here too, as well as, you know, and you can make your own style up, your own scheme. And then on the page background, you can actually make a whole page to be like a picture, and then set it up as a color, whatever. You can create a master page too. And then you've got mailings, which is, we don't talk too much about that because, like I said, that feature, this is just to create like a mailers, like you would do something to print out for envelopes. But we don't deal with too much of that with the library, and I don't have a lot of experience with it, so I don't want to go over too much of that. But this is where you would do that. If you're making a mass mailing of something and you want to, you know, not type in each one individually, but insert the mailing addresses from a database, you can do that here. And then you got your review, which has got your ABC spelling, your grammar and all that. You can do that here, and you can even make another language if you want. And then on your view tab, you've got where you can look at it from the master page view, a single page or a two-sided page. The normal view is what you see right here. And then you can show the boundaries or the guides. The guides are where it's going to line everything up for you. You got your rulers, of course, which you can opt out of, but I don't recommend it because I always like to know how much space I got between the edge of my page and the actual print stuff. And then you can view it, like you can go zoom it in and out. Remember, you got your slider bar, which we'll see on the next slide. And you can arrange everything in a certain way with the windows and how you look at the publication. There's your zoom slider bar. Remember, you just click and you can slide that little tab to the plus to make it bigger size, to the minus size to make it smaller. And then, like I said, you can click help with the newer ones like Office 365, of course, is supported right now by Microsoft, but you just click on the help on this stuff and it will allow you to find out a subject, find out help on a particular subject. Now, like I said, the older ones are the older versions of Publisher are not going to be supported by Microsoft. So the best thing to do is just you can search the internet and filter through the answers until you find what you're looking for, or just drop me a line at g.conwell or at harrison.lib.ms.us or librarydude1999@gmail.com. Okay, let me show you now with the live version of Publisher how I do a lot of signage here around the library. I'm going to go here, open up with my Start menu, go to Publisher, and notice right away this is my backstage view. I've got where I can open up another file, or I'm going to make a new file to print it and all the rest. Notice here you've got a bunch of templates, okay? You can choose a bunch of these and play with them. We're going to do that next time, but I'm going to start from scratch. I'm going to choose not a blank piece of paper that's letter size, but I'm going to make my own letter size. Here's regular letter size, that's standard, is a portrait. Then you've got landscape, but here you can make more blank page sizes. Okay, you can create your own, which is what I do, is I'm going to make my own poster size picture. I click create a new page size, and it gives me the options of what size I want it to be. And I already know the dimensions. It always helps to know beforehand how big you want a thing or how small you want a thing. I'm going to make this to be 23 by 20 inches. Okay? I hit OK. It shows me a preview of it, and then I hit create. Okay, there's my blank tab. Now I'm on the Home tab, and remember, this is where you're going to put your text or copy and paste, justify something. You got different styles. You can insert a picture, a table, shapes, and all this. What I'm going to do is remember, you can't type directly with Publisher. You have to insert a text box. Now, if I put up here, say like I'm going to do art poster, I'm just going to type the word art. If I hit insert text box, and then I type the word art, notice the default is size 10. That's really, really small for a poster that's almost 2 feet wide. So what I want to do, instead of doing that, just to let you see how it is, see, that's way too small. I can highlight that, click the big A if you remember from the Word class. I can make it really big. Even if I scroll it and make it huge, I can even make it as big as I want. I keep clicking on that A. Notice when I scroll up, it only makes it to 72. But there's another thing that you can do besides making the text like that. If I center it, I'm going to put that right there. Another thing that you can do, besides just the art, just type it in a text box, you can use insert a Wordart. Okay? I'm going to hit Control and Z to undo what I just did. Or I could just hit delete too. But just to show you that magic button, Control and Z. I'm going to hit Insert Wordart. I'm going to choose this one, and I'm going to actually put in for my Tahoma that I use. Scroll down, choose the style I want. And then I'm going to type art. Okay? Now, this is also really small, but it's considered all shaped by itself to where what I can do to increase the size of the letters is simply by left-clicking and dragging on the handles. Remember, the handles are those little dots. So I can just click, left-click, and drag. Okay, now it's big. If I want to center this, I just click it with my mouse and drag it across. And when I do, when it's in the middle, there's a faint red line that's going to show up. That shows me I'm in the middle. If you don't see it, just eye it out for a little bit and play with it some until you're going to see a red line that will show that it's centered in the middle of the picture. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in the letters to be black. And how do I do that? This is when I click on the little the shape, the object, the Wordart. Notice the ribbon changes over. And what I'll do here is I hit Shape Fill and make it black. And then I'm going to make the outline black too by clicking Shape Outline, black. Okay? And I will tell you about the shape of it. You can, if you want to keep the proportion size of the letters, you're going to click this little drop-down arrow. Notice I'm on the Wordart Format Tools. If I go down this drop-down arrow and I hit Lock Aspect Ratio, no matter how I shrink it or grow it back, it's going to be in the same proportions as it was before. Now I think you'll see that little red line that comes up that says it's in the middle of the picture. Okay, if you don't worry about it. But okay, now I've got the Wordart like I want it, and I want to insert a background picture. I'm going to take a piece of art that I've already made for this size picture. If it's not going to be the same size, it will make a repeated image of this picture over and over again. So I made this picture and I sized it for the size of this poster. But I'm going to make it to be the background of my picture. So I hit Page Design, I go to Background, I hit More Backgrounds, I choose Picture, I select where the picture is, and there's my picture. I hit OK, and now it's the size of the picture. Now, I will tell you that the margins of this were indicated by the blue that goes all around the picture. That indicates where the print is gonna stop, and this will be white. Okay, so it'll look like a little white frame around it. If you don't want that, when you hit margins, you can hit no margins. But there still will be a little bit of white all around the sides, just because that's the way the printers do. Okay? That's how to make a basic poster with Publisher. Now when you print it out, it's going to be pages that you have to paste together, and I'll show you through the backstage view what that looks like. When you do print, it shows you all these 6 pieces of paper that you'll have to paste together to make one big poster. Okay? But you can do a lot of things like this with Publisher that you can't do with Word. Now, the layering and arranging that we were talking about earlier, if I put a picture, I'm going to put a shape in here. I'm going to say insert, and then I'm going to say shapes. I'm going to take a basic square, and I'm going to make a shape right here. okay? If I say shape fill and make it white, notice my writing is covered over, okay? And now I can send this to the background by clicking wrap text and say behind, let's see, I'm sorry, not send backward, not wrap text. Click send backward. So now my letters are in front of the shape that I have. I can edit the shape to make it like a shadow that looks really cool. When I click edit shape or shadow effects right here, I can make it like, let's do like that. You don't really see it as good because it's got the background there. But you can add a border around it, make the border thicker. I'm going to hit Control and Z to take that effect out, because that doesn't work. But I do want to make a bold black outline around the word art. So if I double click on shape and I say shape outline, and notice the black is already there, so it's already going to be black. I go to weight, and I increase the weight size. I can even make it bigger than what it looks like right there by clicking this up arrow. That's a little bit thicker. I want it even thicker than that. So let me go back to weight. And I'm going to say 10. 10 points. So, okay, that looks good. So, this is how you make a basic poster with playing around with Publisher. And we're going to learn more about this next time with using some templates. So anyway, thank you for watching. And my name is Jeff Conwell. If you have any questions, drop me a line at g.conwell@harrison.lib.ms.us or librarydude1999@gmail.com. Thank you.